So I wanted to tell you before how's the story with me and money, and I think I realized years ago that it's all the same with all the millionaires and other people. That the amount of the money that we talk about, it's very connected with consciousness, and the amount of money you make is the amount of money you allow yourself in the mind or subconscious mind. So very often it's not conscious, it's a subconscious process that you think. For example, when I finished my studies, I was earning about $2,000 a month, which in Poland was a very good salary for us. Well, for any salary basically. So other people didn't make the salary I had. So comparing to US salaries right now, or in 2000 or 2015 or 20, it would be like $3,000 to $5,000 salary, just finishing the studies. And then I noticed whatever I did in this position or this time, I couldn't make more than $3,000, for example. So $4,000 with profits was everything I did, and I was very happy, and it was really good. So the reason I tell that, because anything I would do back then, even change the work, my salary would go up to $4,000. It wouldn't be $10,000 because of my consciousness and the thing I allowed myself to make. And it wasn't clear for me back then, because it was the beginning of making money during the studies and during the trips and during the regular work. So then I noticed that when I moved on, I allowed myself, so I was thinking, programming myself, like to do, okay, let's do $5,000 and then $6,000, like with the next work. So physically it's visible with the minds and self-programming and getting better work as well. So you can say like, yeah, he got better work and he got more money and everything. Yes, but it's not that you usually jump to $10,000 or $100,000 a month. So I noticed that, and then I also noticed that whatever I would do in that time, I couldn't do like $10,000 a month. So I could have 2-3 works and it would still be 5 or 6 or maybe 7, but I would be like dying without rest and having just a lot of work and just a little bit more money in that time. And then I realized with starting my own trading and business in the future that I could do $5,000 and $10,000 a month, but it was connected to that process that led me, not through hard work, through the affirmation and thinking process, so self-programming again, to make $5,000 or $10,000, that it's safe. So I repeated to myself, repeatedly I was saying like, it's safe to make $10,000, let's do $10,000. Or I was just saying to myself like, let's do $10,000. Like I was looking consciously for a project or trade or anything, whatever it happens in the universe, in my mind and on earth, whatever place I was, that to make more money or big time. So I was consciously or subconsciously quitting the processes that gave me like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 and bet on the projects or trades or whatever in my case to do $5,000, $10,000 and $15,000. And then I started to realize that I cannot move from $10,000, I cannot move higher. But then again, for a year or two, I started to think like, okay, let's do $30,000 or $50,000 or $100,000 a month. That is my goal. And then of course millions and everything. It doesn't matter, the amount doesn't matter, because for somebody in the end of the world, $1,000 can be something that he was aspiring to for all his life. And you can leave, in Cuba right now, you can leave probably a few months for $1,000. So US money, Cuban money, and Philippine money and Polish money, it's very different thing to compare. But I use numbers to give expression how the process works. So I think it's the same. You got the idea because of your experience, right? The same. That probably in your case it's the same. So people who have more easy mind, or they program themselves, or they show themselves how it works, that they don't have to earn $500 or $2,000, that they're just aspiring to do $5,000, $10,000 or $30,000 a month. They just look for different projects. They're self-programmed, and it's like self-fulfilling prophecy. But it all begins and it ends in the mind, and it could be an interesting tip for people who are just starting career or looking how to make millions. So making millions, it's not about having fluke or hard work or anything, because there are guys who just found out some super app or something, or like you said, the oil drilling device that the one guy invented because of his hard work probably, but because of he was open and he was ready to get millions, and those millions wouldn't harm him. So the other important thing is like you get also the money, the amount of money that wouldn't harm you, subconsciously and consciously, or universe know exactly. So not all of the people can win the lottery, and if they do, very often they end up with cocaine and they die in a few days. Like the guy who won the lottery some 6 months ago or a year ago, the guy hit the Powerball like 150 millions or something like that. He died before getting this money because he already took the loan, bought a house, bring a lot of girls, and he died weeks or days later. So we all have this process that is guiding us and sometimes preventing of getting extra money, and it's connected to the consciousness that is safe for us to do this amount of the money, or it's very much needed very often, and we do amount of money that we need, but it's moving in time, weeks, months, in my case months, years. You can accelerate the process, but you can never force it, I notice. So forcing it, it's more like you can force it with affirmation and you can make it better, but it's more technical. So this is what I'm doing at the website in the switch. This is the technical part of self-programming, self-fulfilling, working with the mind, conscious mind and subconscious mind, and notice how the universe guide you with some things you cannot get yet and some things you should already get, and you can even feel it. And then it just a switch, just a moment to get things like I'm getting right now projects, and I already think to make projects more easy, more spiritual, and to get a lot of money from it, just an easy way traveling and meeting greatest people. But on the side also the projects are realizing from the past, because there was some program with money, like I do trading and something that is not spiritual, it is pure finance, pure money, and that goes on as well because I programmed it before. So it's even hard to stop it unless I say like, no, I don't want it, I don't want that money, or I don't want that projects, and then it's fine. Universe fill it with some better project probably that is more suitable for a time. But the same you will notice with all the people like Buffett, Trump, any businessman you mentioned that already has hundreds of millions, but he's well programmed, and when he has the first million or first 5 or 10 millions, which is okay to live or keep it and be safe, and just relax and do nothing, but usually they don't. They look the better deal to make another 20 million, so double the 10 million they already have. And it's not from one perspective it's a greed, but from the second perspective it's self-fulfillment and realization and the self-mind programming that they want to achieve more, and they have this affirmation or this program in the mind that they look for the deals, and they sometimes they're allowed to achieve it, so they make another 50 or 100 millions very fast after they did 10 millions, and you can see it. And when you talk with those guys, you see it's the same process. Maybe they don't call it like, oh, I programmed myself, or I was praying every night, but they do. We all do. We all think about it before going to sleep or when we wake up. So it's self-programming. Sometimes it's a prayer when you just pray to God or to yourself, or you just think like, let's get it, or it's here. Actually, it's better when we think it's here, that you think that somebody comes and give you projects like for $1 million, or you sell some real estate project that is worth 10 million and that is your profit. So they all do it. The prayer, the self-programming, the affirmations, it's easy because it's just thoughts. It's one of the 60,000 thoughts in the head during the day. So if you make 5-10% of it in the one direction, whatever is love, health, money, or whatever you need, then you're getting it. And I notice in my life it's so easy that whenever I do like $10,000 a month, of course I'm not saying like strictly like month by month you're doing it or you have to do it. It's not like this. It's just amount of the money that comes in at one time, for example, that is very visible, that it doesn't exceed some amount that I get used to. And then I have to break it, I have to push it. It's not even the greed, because I already have money and it's okay to survive and it's safe. So maybe partially it's a greed, if I have to be frank, but mostly it's about breaking the rules, accessing, entering the spot, which is, bigger room, bigger circle. And then I notice it's possible to enter any circle that is bigger, and then you can make $100,000 a month or $1 million, which for a company maybe it's not much sometimes, but for a private person like me, that I have no expenses, no loans, no kids, no couples, nothing. Like for me, $100,000 I could live a year easily, and I notice these goals are coming with life. What I'm trying to say, don't waste your life on forcing to earn $50,000 a month when you have still consciousness of making $3,000 a month, because it's not going to work. You're going to have more gray hair, you're going to get more fat, you're going to get more tired, you're going to lose sometimes marriage or family, or you're going to not have time for your children because you didn't program yourself with the right affirmation, prayer, simple thoughts technique. So observing your thoughts and getting there with a thought, so adding more natural, maybe spiritual as well thoughts, so it's technical spirituality again, and to make it process come naturally, not through the hard work and not through forcing it. Like you could run around the city and look for the project like which brings me 100,000 or $1,000,000 a year, but it never works like this. It's always like that opposite way. I make my mind straight, I know what I want, and I wait, giving the universe the exactly time that it needs, whatever time it is. The more time you give, the quicker it gets. The more, because more relaxed you are. So more relaxed you are, the quicker it comes, and it's just more easy then. And then people call you, people ask you to do things, projects that will bring you $1 million or $100,000. Of course, it's great to run around and ask, or go online, or talk with people, or whatever is the way for you to make money, or projects, or whatever. It's good because you're reaching for it. It's showing the universe that you're ready for it as well. But I noticed that's not the way.
You first have to create like a state of mind on it, and then it just comes easily.
Yes.
It looks
so. When the state of mind is ready, you are ready. Universe exactly know when you are ready, and when you are ready that you can receive it, that you will not harm yourself. So your character and other things will not suffer. And when you are not ready and you get millions and everything, I always joke, it was just shortly saying that you get girls, cocaine, and sometimes you die, or sometimes your character, even if you don't do all of those things, it's just going worse, and it's visible in your marriage that it's collapsing, with your kids that are not happy, with other people that you treat bad instead of being kind and polite and everything. These are the money that comes to people who forced it, but they were not ready, they were not prepared, they forced it, it happened. Because another thing is, I always also say, which is happening in my life as well, when I'm not ready for money or anything, but I really, every day I say like, I want it, I really want it, and I feel I want it, and I say like, I really want it, there is no other way. At some point, after 6 months, year, or some time, universe will say like, okay, you want it that much, I give it to you anyway.
Be careful for what you wish.
And then you see
a lesson.
He comes, or the force comes, and it says like, whatever you have, okay, you pray for it every day, I cannot not hear it anymore, so I just give it to you, and you get it. And then you see that you're not happy, or it wasn't like you think, like you projected, or you cannot use it in the right way, or it's a lot of money that comes, but you're just more fearful, you don't know where to put them in the bank. The rich people might having those problems with it. They don't know what to do with it, how to protect it. They don't know if to keep it in dollars or euros, or buy gold, or real estate, or they get confused, they buy real estate, they lose money, whatever they do, it's hectic, it's stressful. So they can have hundreds of millions, and it's getting stressful, The attraction of the trauma in them, or lack of security, attracts the advisory that is really wrong. So whatever they invest, they lose money in funds and money and gold and real estates, instead of just multiplying it, because of the self-security attracts, and the energy from the universe and the people advisory that will help them, even though you don't have to have any idea about the money and finance. The right people, if you attract the right energy because you have it in you, the right people will come, and it's always going to be well. Whenever you have $5 on your account, or 5 million, or much more money. But opposite way, and I meet both of the people. I mean, I don't meet much millionaires, but recently and in recent years, I meet people that are millionaires and very wealthy, but they're calm. So everything is good. I don't see insecurity because they have 100 millions in account. They are secure, even though they don't protect the money because they don't know how very often, or they have no good advisory how to protect it fully on a full scale, but it's good for them. There is no danger.
And I think when they're prepared and they have this state of mind already for years, or they have achieved this goal.
They achieve it slowly.
Sometimes when they go bankrupt, or because it can happen, they recover very quickly, because it's not now. It's their lifestyle, or their state of mind. It's always gonna be like this for them if they keep this.
Yeah. This is good to say. The example of the millionaires, like the Verizon Airlines, am I saying correct? Richard Branson, I think that's his name, the millionaire from US, that he owns airline company and few other companies, projects, and he went bankrupt with the airline company. Some of his friends help him, or people he know from the business. I don't know the story exactly, but it's one of many stories that the guy goes zero bankrupt. Somebody give him like 20 or 30 millions, because for some rich people it's not a problem. It's amount like $2,000-$3,000 in the bank account. He goes 100 millions in a year or two or a few years again, and the prosperity of the projects is great. So you see that when you have a state of mind, even if you go bankrupt, just like you say, it just comes back.
Yeah.
And that's why
like everything. If you're a healthy person and something happens to you, an accident or something, you just get over it and keep being a healthy person. And if you're a person that often gets sick or anything, even if you're getting the best doctors and treatments, you will always be like this. It's like that in every situation, I think.
The same recipe. That is like this. So it's with money, with health.
It's like a pattern of life that you create with your mind. It's like a dream you create. You're always managing your life.
Yeah, and so it's beautiful. So the conclusion is, it's all about pattern, mind structure, what you allowed yourself, and how programmed you are. So there are books about it. We talk about it on the website, and I talk about it with many people almost every second day somewhere. So it's easy to learn it with a little bit optimism, with a little bit statistics, like thinking every day in some direction, and then you can be invincible. You can be really feeling more and more secure in life, like right now. I'm not afraid that if I lose all of the money, I know how to start new projects. I know how to be wealthy. I know how to be happy without money. I know how to multiply money fast. So it's not really an issue like
it's never going to be an issue if you're like that already.
So it's like completely more secure you feel in life, and then you can focus on the personal and spiritual growth, or whatever is important for you, love, money, family, or health, whatever the most important issues I always mention. So this is the conclusion I wanted to record.